It's important to validate their experience. I don't want anything I say today, right? And then we start to plant those beliefs, those beliefs with my children, and they're not doing anything.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Kidney Coach YouTube channel. I'm naturopath Fiona Chin, co-founder of Genesis and the Kidney Disease Solution and Kidney Coach. And I'm joined again today by one of my favorite guests, the beautiful Nicole Williams. When you say busyness and what we're covering, what do you mean by that, and what does that look like?
Yeah, it is a big topic, right? So, what I mean by busyness is this sense of a completely full schedule, right? Your day is packed. Maybe if you're working, you're moving from one meeting to the next, or you're um, caring for someone. Maybe you're a caregiver, but your day is full. Your day is packed, and you have this sense of overwhelm.
Mhm.
And you also recognize that you have stopped taking care of yourself in a way that is replenishing.
So, how do you help people manage that and give them permission to not be busy? Because I think that's the big one, right? I needed permission.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, first, I'm definitely a coach and someone who I think it's important to validate their experience. I don't want anything I say today to come off as if I am shaming someone or not encouraging them to continue work or things like that. So I really think it's important to recognize the difficulty that they're in because, right, just as we've acknowledged, you may have a parent, you're working, there's all types of circumstances happening for everyone. So I first want to make sure I do that appropriately for that individual. I do ask quite a few questions about how they just in general care for themselves.
Mm.
Because when those kinds of when I ask those questions, I can sometimes pick up on certain patterns. So maybe someone was taught as a young age to be a really hard worker, right? And then we start to plant those beliefs. Those beliefs get planted around what working hard means. Or maybe we've seen our parents model a certain type of work ethic or a certain type of lifestyle that's just ingrained in us. So asking certain questions just about their own self-care practices, and when based on their lifestyle, what they appreciate about it, what are areas that they want to change. So just kind of digging deeper for clients
Mhm.
in the beginning. Um, but then there are ways in which we can identify small, really, really small steps to take to build in times to take a break. I would talk a lot about rest and what that means for them.
Mm.
How would it feel to spend a half of a day focused on you and maybe not doing your normal routine, or maybe delegating a lot of your responsibilities to someone else.
That taking this time and this break and reflection is just as important as doing and being busy and taking the supplements and changing the diet. How do you help people with all of that?
Yeah. I think first recognizing your natural response to what's happening in your environment. So, for example, I think it's no secret that I have kids, and so I notice when I can be more snappy or irritable with my children, and they're not doing anything, right? They're just being kids, or they need help with homework or whatever. For me, that's one indication that I'm not taking care of myself emotionally. And
Mhm.
so that's one example. Any difficulties concentrating, changes in your sleep patterns, those are some tall tale signs that you're experiencing overwhelm in your life, and you're likely need to address that. So that's something again just to be aware of. I walk through these specific pillars in my coaching practice. We to talk about beliefs and rest, but values is also on that space. And I know that's probably not the traditional way of thinking about addressing mindset. What I have found is that when I ask clients what they value or to think more about their life in terms of their values, that is the gateway and the doorway for them to completely refocus everything around that value. And what you
Mm.
often find is that it's, time with their family, right? Or building relationships, community, spending time with others. Um, or the I'll say legacy or purpose, the kind of legacy or purpose in their life is also a big value. Faith also tends to be a big value. And so when you break down the actions needed to address those values, they all require intention, mindfulness. Being rushed and hurried and busy doesn't align with those values. So that's another way in which, again, as we talk and uncover some of the aspects that might be contributing to your busyness, dig into those beliefs. Will kind of come back around the corner to your values and understanding what's really important to you.
So if you want to know more about what we do, head to www.kidneycoach.com. Same thing on Facebook, Instagram, and all things social media. Remember to hit subscribe and like. That way you'll get notified anytime we put up new content.